So, what if what we're seeing in youth and society at large has to do with babies? Now, throughout history, there have been different times where they took babies and they said, we're going to feed them, meet their basic needs, but there's going to be no emotional support. We're not going to talk to them, period, right? Throughout history, this has happened numerous times, and yes, the children always die because as a species, we need that. So, here's my thought. I don't know if I'm right or wrong. What if what we're watching with the youth and others, people just kind of acting a fucking fool, what if that is the downstream effect of the societal pressure to limit consequence? Like, okay, most people, their mom and dad, there was a consequence. And some people, their mom and dad had too much consequence. That's a brave fucking squirrel. Right? But I'm talking about the stereotypic norm consequence, right? You know, go to put your hand on the hot stove, it gets smacked. Don't do that. You know, don't do that. So you learn not to put your hand on, you're going to get smacked. Your hand's going to get smacked if you put your hand on a hot stove. You know. And then we have all these kids shoved into these daycares where there's 50, 60 kids, maybe even 100. But there's only X amount of staff. And the emotional development and support is stunted at an early age because there's not enough emotional support and positive influence and negative influence, because you do need negative, that they get stunted. The ability to determine right from wrong and control their emotions gets stunted. And as they grow, because they've never learned how to moderate their emotions, and the right and wrong has been stopped, that we're seeing that play out in real life. Think about it. We see it, because the two family income, where mom and dad were both working, tend to have, their emotions are just drained by the time they get home. The single parent, they're just drained. They ain't got time to, they just don't feel like dealing with you. The boss was an asshole, and now the kids don't learn how to self-regulate. They don't feel wanted. They don't feel needed. And they start looking for it, but they don't know how to control themselves because no one's ever showed them how to. What if that's what we're watching? Just like a puppy. If you take a puppy away from its litter mates at a very early age, and you raise it by itself, and say around a year, 2 years old, because puppies develop faster than humans, right? It loses its ability to regulate and identify social clues and markers. It tends to become more reactive and what we would consider more violent. And we watch it play out all the time. You can watch trainer after trainer after trainer, and they'll tell you the same things. They need to stay with their litter mates for about 12 weeks. And you need to have a lot of social interactions with other dogs in order to regulate, so they can understand social clues. What if that's happening with humans? But because humans' brains work a little differently, they got stunted in this loop. No one telling them that's wrong. Don't do that. Or everything is wrong. But there was no true adult emotional connections, or limited adult connections. So they are having a really difficult time oh, I can't do that because that's wrong and that could hurt someone. And because of it, they're in this loop of, fuck it, I'm going to do it if I want to do it. Because they don't understand consequence, and their ability to regulate their emotions is still at like a 3-year-old level, maybe a 5-year-old. What if that's what we're watching in real time? I don't know. I might be wrong, but it's an interesting thought.